Are we live? Are we on? Oh, my mic is off on Spaces. Is on now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the. What is up with my hair? There's so much frizz. Is it the weather? It's July. It is the first coffee and underwear in July, and it's Independence Day, or as some people say, the 4th of July. But you could say it's the 4th of July, whether or not it is Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? Because if there wasn't this holiday, it would still be the 4th of July. Nobody really says the 5th of July or the 3rd. And even Canada Day, nobody says the 1st of July. People be like, the hell are you talking about? It's really good branding on America's part to say, let's just say you hear 4th of July, you think independence. You know, good job from the marketing team. Let's take a look at these underwear. Of course, you can't see them on Spaces, but hello to everybody on Spaces. I will describe the color for you. You can all close your eyes and envision them. I said they're coral, but in different light, it keeps changing. They look orange, reddish orange, maybe like a burnt orange or like a blood orange on the screen. But I assure you, in person, they look much more corally. Nevertheless, that is what I'm wearing on this day. Apropos of nothing, I just like them. I like how they look. And I like the person I am today. And I hope that you like me too. I don't really care how you feel about yourself. I hope you tolerate yourself, and I hope you tolerate me. It's about tolerance. Never mind liking. Don't try to be liked. Strive to be tolerated. Hamburger said, we're starting off with a hot question. Stephen Sondheim versus Andrew Lloyd Webber in a tuxedo match. Who gets stripped first? I have not seen Stephen Sondheim walk around, but even just based on the lyrics, I can tell you Stephen Sondheim is going to kick Andrew Lloyd Webber's ass. Andrew Lloyd Webber is a weird-looking person. Odd body shape. He's both long and short at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense. Tom said, good morning and happy America Day, y'all. I hope Kurt Angle left you all the hamburgers and truck nuts. You asked for, I don't know what the hell truck nuts are. Do you mean, are they edible or are they bolts, lugs and bolts that put together, perhaps the wheels of a truck or that hold the flatbed together? Is that what truck nuts are? I wouldn't call an almond a truck nut. It's better than a truck, to be honest with you. Cashews, put in this category. Peanuts are really America's nut. And the fact that so many people are allergic is a real allegory there. Ty-Fi said, good morning, RJ. Happy Independence Day. How are you feeling this morning? I'm feeling smooth. I'm feeling okay. I think we're sailing. I was excited for there's 4th of July celebrations tonight. And then I realized it felt like when I was a kid, fireworks never frightened dogs. Nobody told me about that. For years. I'm like, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. And then it feels like out of nowhere, it was like I turned 18 and I was like, by the way, the stuff you enjoy so much, dogs hate fireworks. They hate them. And it felt like they turned all at once. I assume they've always hated them, unless they had a meeting or something that I was not aware about. So, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch maybe the Boston Pops will be on tonight. Dun, 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 that routine. And I looked up stuff and there's shit on CNN, there's John Stamos and the Beach Boys. And John Stamos now plays drums for the Beach Boys, which I don't even think they need a drummer at this point. I don't know who's left or what they're singing that requires that much drumming, let alone John Stamos drumming. Makes me wonder, first of all, what's up with John Stamos' contact list? His friends, he was friends with Don Rickles for a very long time. And then now he's playing legitimately with the Beach Boys. What is the deal here? There's no way he's a good drummer. It's got to be Ringo level. And then furthermore, what other celebrities would I like to see pair up with band members to fill out the dead people, let's say? Okay, Gamer said, well, hi, and well, hi to you. Do enjoy her channel as she plays Red Dead and more Red Dead. Usually she's usually playing Red Dead pretty much. Rachel Clifford's the incorrect spelling of Rachel. She got some merchandise for me, and I emailed her, and I told her as much. And she's just going to have to live with it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Rachel. Lonzo Wright said GM RJ, and I thought he meant General Manager RJ, but I realized in the non-wrestling world, GM also means good morning. That's how often, I think only if you were a wrestling fan as a child would you hear the terms general manager and commissioner and CEO. I could not imagine, and there's no CEOs in like watching the Power Rangers or the Ninja Turtles. Maybe like Gotham has a mayor, Commissioner Gordon, but even then, who talks about Commissioner Gordon anymore? They are on the Joker train. That Joker guy is wacky. That guy is so weird. You don't know what he's going to do next. And then everybody's a Joker, and they all have weird faces. What a character. Positively E is waving. Oh, I'm so far behind. I got to get my shit together. Spent too much time talking about the Joker. Jesus. Okay, let me blow through this. Positively E said the 1st of July is my mom's birthday, and I would have said happy birthday, but we've now missed it. Positively E said the underwear is orange. A said Rebel City. JD said those are far more orange than I was expecting. Okay, Gamer said they're tangerine. Tangerine. One of my favorite. Lawrence Welk used to play the shit out of that thing. Leo said, what's the deal with this cancel culture thing? Huh? I know. It's cultural. Val said, good morning. And I said, good morning to you. SM said, how is Canada Day typically celebrated? I had a classmate once who decided it would be appropriate to wear a Canada Day shirt on the 4th of July, didn't wear it on Canada Day. That was like a real fuck you. He was being a rebel. Canada Day, I always said, is perhaps more observed, where 4th of July is more celebrated. Certainly this year is an off year for quite a few reasons, but even in general terms, there are fireworks, there's celebrations, but at best, it's a third of the capacity and excitement that the 4th of July would have. Like Canada Day is like a really amazing picnic. Positively, he said, oh, stop, coral isn't a real color. I researched it this morning to say, am I saying this correctly? Because I want people to know what color it is. Let's take another look here. Sorry for you all in spaces. Close your eyes again. I assure you it's coral. And now, well, the lighting, but in person, I'm looking at it as you can see me look at it. Trust thine own eyes. JD said Stephen Sondheim was a dancer. Aaron said, good morning, and then put an apostrophe after the G. Why do you, the apostrophe is usually in place of the G. Christina said, good morning, everyone. Positively E said, it's been canceled, Leo. Cancel culture has been canceled. Cancel culture has been canceled. That's a fun tongue twister. Clarence said, hi, RJ, look so sexy in Calvin's. We need special guests for your shows. Personally, I think you look sexier in red. Well, I can't wear those all the time. They're going to have holes in them. They need to be washed at some point. So bear with me today. Gee. SM said, truck nuts are fake balls that swing on the back of trucks. Yeah, those are just truck balls. You say nuts, I think they're edible or there's some sort of tool, some sort of equipment to hold together. I gave them too much credit. I think they should go all the way. I want to see a fake penis hanging off the back of a truck. Just also attach a dildo to where the fake balls are and just have it drag along the ground. Big metal one, and it leaves sparks as you drive. Neil said, this morning I saw a burnt out firework in the street. It was the size of a paint can. I think somebody just lit a paint can on fire. I was big on the fireworks as a child, and my favorite was the burning schoolhouse, because somehow these firework designers scammed everyone into buying a cardboard structure that looked like a school from 100 years ago. No school looks like that anywhere ever, maybe in a pioneer village. And all it would do is really burn. First of all, horrible, evil thing to do symbolically, number one. Number two, it was just burning cardboard. Tom said, truck nuts are a classy set of plastic testicles you hang from the back of your truck and show off how alpha you are. I'm the inventor of the truck dick. Nail said, hello, Clarence. Hope you enjoyed the Poly-Am party today. I was not, of course. I don't swing. Matt Camp said, I hope you gather up all the neighborhood kids to play baseball in the dark. And I'm going to put a little America the Beautiful by Ray Charles on, and they're going to love it. And then the pitcher is I'm going to say, hey, kids, let me bat. And I'm going to go bat, and they're going to throw the ball at me, and pow, right between the eyes. That was James Earl Jones from The Sandlot, how he went blind and seemingly no other ailments from getting hit square in the head in both eyes, mind you. Good old-fashioned storytelling. SM said, I have a keychain-sized truck nut on my truck, so if someone sees them, they were really checking to see what was swinging there, and it might be a funny surprise. And then you can say, hey, eyes up here, pal. Look at me in my eyes while you're driving. Okay, Gamer says, I really haven't been a fan of fireworks since we adopted Puppy. She's very sensitive. I lived in a non-dog world. I was really a cat guy, and the cats don't give a shit either way. They're, I think, smart enough to understand that the world is not ending via the fireworks. Neil said, Matt. Oh, she just said, Matt. That was literally really all she said there. Positively, he said, Matt, why would you wish that on anyone? I was a good wiffle ball player. I was known for my bunt. Frighten people with my bunt. They say, oh my God. We're not prepared for this in the street. Might go into a truck or something. He said, I'm going to do a family barbecue tonight. Keep my dog Rascal happy. Do you say, oh, you rascal? But then he might be confused if he does something wrong. He says, I'm going to have a little corgi. I'm going to name him Rapscallion. Stamos and the Beach Boys were in an episode of Baywatch, which is also stupid. You don't see Vader and Ric Flair hanging out with Jack Carter anymore. That's a reference from my YouTube series, The Hollywood Squared Circle, where I talk about wrestling episodes of non-wrestling shows. Nell said, I've got all my anti-freak-out preparations ready for our pup today. I heard some bangs at 8:20 in the morning. That I would be interested. If it's if it's an overcast day, I would really love some morning fireworks. Get them out of the way early. SM said, why did you change your Twitter bio from wrestling rock on tour to personality? I felt like it described me well. I felt like I've used that one a lot, and I thought I should change it up to something a little more broad. And I do think I'm in a personality. And you say, of what? And you say, well, of various things. Okay, Gamer said, not true. I just beat Red Dead and will definitely not be playing it again for a while. Sorry. My apologies. Playing RimWorld, farming on Jupiter. Very exciting. Positively, he said, fill out the dead people. What are we I don't know what I was talking about. You're just throwing these back at me. Leo said, some idiot, a white furry with dreadlocks I had on Facebook said, people trying to ban home fireworks was an attack on freedom of speech. They're like pro dog terrorizing. Chase Lively said, RJ, are you on Twitch yet? No, I'm here. Why would I be there to do the same thing I'm doing here? It's a good question. I want you to think about it, Chase. Nug said, who's the most American tag team? American males or Stars and Stripes? I think, what was the name of Lex Luger in the British? Oh, the Allied Powers. Because, America was still very much rooted in UK lore at that time, and I felt like the two countries meeting was the most American thing of all, to take on Eli and Jacob Blue. Nail said, was confused by your appearance in the Even Stevens video on the poster. You appearing with Evil Kip somewhere? No, they put my name on a poster. I had no idea about it, but they're Stevens and they're even. I think they're the same height. and the same weight. SM said, I agree. The correct spelling of Rachel has only one A. Doug said, or the Rougeaus. Are they American? No, going with the Allied powers just because of the windbreakers. Leo said, every CEO I've ever met is creepy. A said, have you ever worked with a patriot, Del Wilkes? No, it was my understanding that he was not really doing the indie scene after he stopped. And the person who was being the patriot on the indie scene was absolutely not Del Wilkes. So I might have been on a show with like a fake patriot. Certainly with a couple fake doinks. I wrestled, I think, at least 2 doinks, and neither of them were remotely close to being the actual doink. And I'm so ashamed of myself that I participated in doink bootlegging. It hurt me. Spot Center said, 55 weeks ago, what? You and your mom sang Hello, Dolly for my mom's birthday. Found on YouTube. On Tuesday, she's having cancer surgery followed by radiation treatments. How's your mom doing? Well, I mean, sorry to hear that. Although, hang in there. Getting treatment. Good. Be optimistic. Enjoy everything. Enjoy a sandwich. Sorry about singing you Hello, Dolly. I don't know if, that helped anything at all, but I want to apologize about it. How's my mom doing? She's good. She's the same. With the last time you saw her, whatever she was then, I assure you she's the same now. Sokaria said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sokaria. I'm mispronouncing your name. SM said, it's more of a clownfish orange. Well, they hang out in the reefs, don't they? Angel said, good morning, my sweet and sexy RJ. So glad I can watch you this morning. That's some gratitude. That's what I'm talking about. Some good old-fashioned gratitude. What are you grateful for this Independence Day? Thank you, Angel. Today said, lots of people in space today. Such fun. Yeah, lots of listen up, guys. Aaron said, autocorrect is always making me look like a fool. But I think we've all accepted. We've all been through ducking and things of that nature, Spot Center said, I see the color as tangerine and juicy should be on your ass. Well, in many ways it is. Ace said, cancel culture has no bite to their bark anymore. Although Barks had bite. That wonderful caffeinated root beer. Or else this week would not have happened. What? It doesn't exist, Ace. It's not a real thing. Nail said, I was not expecting dildos before 10 a.m. Keep you on your toes, Nails. 4 Eyes 5 said, RJ, what's the worst injury you've received? You know what hurt the most in wrestling? I hopped up on the apron once, and whatever horrible, disheveled ring it was, had no padding around the outer frame. So I just whacked the bone of my shin on the metal beam there. That hurt, especially and I remember getting in the ring thinking, I haven't even started the match. Leo said, I show people how alpha I am by quoting things I hear on Joe Rogan. And I want to point out that Ray Romano was originally supposed to be that character in news radio. And if they stuck with Ray, we would be living in a much better world today. Brotherly Love said, RJ's pop culture references never disappoint. Yeah, more Beach Boys. Neil said, a non-dog world sounds like hell. I like cats, though. They're fun. They're nice. Rachel said, my cat is totally scared of fireworks. I've never seen that, and now I feel bad. So, no. What about budgies? Maybe we should all just get birds. Neil said, I was excited to see Matt. Leave me alone. Oh, yeah, she just yelled, Matt. Angel said, good morning, happy America, relatively speaking. Angel said, my cat likes fireworks. She sits and watches out the door. Well, there you go, Rachel. You two can argue it out. Revenge said, dear RJ, if you could have any song on Ariana Grande's hit album, if I could be any song, Sweetener, what would it be and why would it actually be Sweetener? I wish she did a song called Stevia. I think that would be, more accurate. Big fan of our work. Ace said Jimmy Hart was also in a non-wrestling episode of Baywatch too. He was on a porpoise. He was like, come on, baby, bring me back to shore. Lauren said, please go on Dragon's Den, or in America, they call it Shark Tank, with the truck dick. SM said, my neighbors are assholes. I hear fireworks go off all year long, and my dog freaks the fuck out. No, they're not gunshots. February fireworks is just obtuse. Matt said, Allies Powered theme is easily the best mixed theme. Because that was a true mix. They really would. They were like, we can play this in the clubs, and people will take off their windbreakers and wave them around their heads. Positively, he said, no nipples allowed on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch told me, they're like, hey, you can do everything you usually do. You just can't be in your underwear. And I was like, have you seen anything? Spot Center said, I saw a doink and a dunk. It's a doink dunk. Nail said, sending your mom love, Spot Center was, and what about my mother now? Now she's going to be upset. A said, was it Brooklyn Brawler as the bootleg doink? No. Brooklyn Brawler is kind of considered in the original, the Fab Four of doinks. This was way, way outside. Way, way in Canada. It was in a very small town, and it was a person who should never have done that. Leo said, 60-second scene. You're moderating a political debate, but Lawrence Diarrhea is one of the politicians, and you are struggling to not laugh at his name. Okay, 60-second scene. I'm moderating a debate, and one of the candidates is prospective Senator Lawrence Diarrhea. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the debate. The topics we'll give 60 seconds to each topic. And first is the economy in the tri-state area and how you think you can prove it on a tri-state level, the tri-states being Wisconsin, Colorado, and Nebraska. And we will open the floor to you from the Whig Party, Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence Diarrhea. I'm sorry, sir. Can you please be quiet? Please continue, Mr. Diarrhea. Not going to ask you again, sir. Mr. Mr. Continue. And that's your time. Mr. Dukakis, do you have anything to say to Mr. Diarrhea? And scene. He would win. If you have a name like Lawrence Diarrhea, you are winning. You are absolutely winning. Oh God, I had some pre-coffee on myself. Can I show this? And now I have spilled it. And I'm so sorry. That's why maybe I should start wearing an apron or a bib. Neil said, I love the 2 doink spot at the time. Yeah, that was good. And certainly lent credence to the multiple doink metaverse, the doinkverse. Neil said, has Mr. Diarrhea made an appearance before? To my knowledge, no. Leo said, have you seen the fake obese drunk versus Heidenreich outside some restaurant? I did, and it was enjoyable. Nug said, come on, Trent Gibson's cricket bat isn't your worst injury to your ego? Good point. It was a couple of years ago. It was the summer. It was the end of the summer. I thought, what ho? This show was very close to my house, like 5 minutes away. It was at a fair. And I will say a loose definition of the term fair, because fair usually denotes that there will be some people there. And there really, really wasn't. There was like basically a handful of children and parents. So it was very like, take it easy today, you know? Let's just get in and get out. It was outside, and I was wrestling Trent Gibson from the fraternity, and we had fun. And we were on the outside, and I took his cricket bat, and I swung it at him, and he moved, and my hands with the cricket bat, I hit the ring post, and he moved, and I swung it so hard that it immediately ricocheted back and hit me in the head. And I have a little, I don't have I didn't get stitches, but it immediately hit me in the head. And there was a bruise and a giant cut on top of the bruise. And I felt like an idiot because I did it myself. And we were facing away from the crowd, so no one saw it hit me in the head. So I just started bleeding for some reason. But right after that, he threw me into a fan's shoe. So the fan thought his shoe cut me in the head, and he apologized for it later. Could you imagine being a fun part of this show, and a wrestler rams another wrestler's head into your shoe, and you're like, yeah, and then the guy's bruised and bleeding after, and you're like, I must have very hard shoes. SM said, no David Arquette today. It doesn't feel right. I spoke to him yesterday. He's doing okay. I think it's a retreat or a monastery or something. So if you ever, tweet him and say, I hope everything's going great at the retreat. Angel said, welcome. I'm thankful for the indie wrestling. It keeps me going through the whole essential work thing because it's really incredibly non-essential. And that, it's not. Even when none of this is important, I look around and I go, what is the point of this? Lonzo writes at happy day of birth, America. We've done this already. Leo said, but then we may have ended up with Everybody Loves Rogan. And I think that would have been okay. He could take his money and then leave. We would have also ended up with the Ray Romano Experience. I'm excited for that podcast. What do you think about aliens? Alex Jones is good. And who wouldn't want to hear Ray Romano commentate in the UFC? Good switch. Nell said, I fully believe David is somewhere playing with fireworks. He has too many dogs to dabble. Daniel Feldman said, Stamos has been drumming for the Beach Boys on and off for decades now, and I think he should stop. Give it just some real drummers. Let them send the elevator back down, Stamos. Nell said, I love your mom too, RJ. Christ. Daniel said, should Nails have an album? If so, what music should it be? It should be a picture of Nails at like halfway through a wooden board, and the title song should be If I Had a Hammer. Jeffrey said, if you had to recommend one podcast episode you've appeared on in order to introduce someone to your beautiful personality, which would it be? I like the Blue Meanie and Not Sam ones a lot, to be honest. Those ones are really good. When I was on The Art of Wrestling, that was good. I would perhaps say my favorite was Steve Austin's podcast. Both in, terms of exposure and what we do. I was with David and we brought him a pie. I think it's it's a nice time capsule of what I was doing with my life before everything stopped. I was bringing pies to Steve Austin. And I can't really see anything here. Hold on a second. All right, let me get the coffee here. Are we better? Do we have it? I think we do. Nail said, as in me, my album would be covers of RJ covers, but only the ones that are his favorites. Nails, I don't know. Okay. Positively, he said, I'm here for coffee spills at this point. One day I'm just going to throw the whole mug on the floor. Rachel said, I saw Doink at a show in New Jersey. I think he wrestled Blue Meanie. That's entirely possible. It was a long time ago, so I'm not sure. Well, when Blue Meanie comes in this chat again, we'll have to ask him what Doink he actually wrestled. Neil said, I've never seen wrestling at a fair or a flea market. I may add that to my bucket list. That's a bucket you put over your head. Neil said, I bet that fans tell the stories of making RJ bleed at dinner parties. Yeah, this shoe right here. Split him wide open. Spot Center said, you get up early to take that screen cap for the video. Do you drink coffee before you see us? What do you do? Just a few bucks for the hat on the ground. What do I do? Sometimes I will have a pre-call. So, for example, I got up at like 6:45, 7 o'clock this morning. I stretched. First thing I did actually was take the picture because it takes a while. On a bad day, it really, really does take a while, and it's important that I get it done. So I did that. And then, then I'll have a little snack and maybe a little coffee. So I'm rounding out. This is like a pre-drink. This is like a warm-up coffee. This is like an aperitif to more coffee. I hope that makes sense. I stretched. I played a quick game of poker on my computer. I'm playing this Western cowboy-themed poker game, and I just like the Old West without any guns and just straight poker. That's all they did. That's my fantasy Wild West. And I made some new merch. I have some more merch coming. And then that's it. Then everything was set up and ready to go. I hope that answers your question. It's very exciting stuff. Londo said, I don't know if I can listen to Ray Romano on a podcast for as long as those episodes are. Tell me about the Illuminati. I think it would be great. Leo said, Kaylee Ray once had her head on my feet after a spot. I thought I should move out of the way, and her head hit the ground and made a loud noise. I was worried she got an injury. Well, you should go apologize. Positively, he said, work on that Romano. It was a little Mr. Beanish. Chase Lively said, Johnny Bongos in the Kokomo video. Oh, that makes sense. I recognize him now. Christina said, Art of Wrestling is how I discovered you. Well, send your apologies to Mr. Cabana. Troy Souther said, this show brings me so much joy, so playful. So playful, especially when you do that. Angel said, I mean, it keeps me somewhat normal during my time of work. Food service is essential, and running the restaurant, I come home and watch the catch up. Well, I'm happy that I'm the non-essential aperitif and balancing out your essential work. Nell said, I like the appearance on the Scripps one this week with Mark Blutman. I've pronounced it two different ways. Because you did the Blossom theme. Also, the old Sean Ross Sapp interview was a hoot. Poe Girl just sent something, so thank you. I don't know why, but thank you. Nail said, we need a screenshot of RJ's camera roll. 60 pics of the thumb. That's pretty accurate. Jeffrey said, I've been having a debate with my cousin. What are your thoughts, if any, on Bo Burnham and Inside? In my Ask RJ for my members, I answered that question. I haven't seen it, but I will watch it and report back. SM said, I've seen wrestling at a music festival. Some observers were wearing a lot less clothing than the wrestlers. How dare they? Rachel said, why make more merch if you don't want us to buy it? To exercise your own self-control. It's a training exercise. Focus, please. Nell said, actually, I will reveal here, I've sent SM a gift from RJ's sale. I won't reveal what, but I had to take advantage of the sale. Oh, dear Lord. Let's press the coffee, and then maybe I'll talk to somebody in Spaces here. Let me get a nice one-handed press, one-fingered press. That's a good one. I'm feeling strong. Let me send a request here. I see someone that I should talk to. There we go. Let me see if I can send a request and frighten this person. Did we send it? I think I sent it. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to someone who's always often in the chat and around anything to do with wrestling. She's dare I say, she's a stalwart of the community. Please say hi. How can I unmute? Hold on. I'm figuring it out. Hello?
Hi.
Hey, everybody. This is Val Pancakes.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. Well, you've seen how I am. Can we talk about your name?
Sure. What do you want to know about it?
Well, your first name is, I'm going to take a stab, Valerie.
You would be correct.
Okay.
Excellent.
Could I also know a Valentina? So, could have been some, but you didn't strike me as a Valentina.
Not a Valentina.
They have a very pompous air about them. But let's talk about the pancakes part.
Okay. So, the name was actually kind of given to me.
Oh, it was bestowed?
Yeah. So what had happened was, which is the best way to start off any story. When I was in college many years ago, I used to book bands to play shows. Okay, hold on. What college? I'm sorry. If this is too much personal information, I'm sorry. I just went to it's a nothing college. What did you go for? What did you go for? Well, I mean, I didn't finish, but that's a whole nother story. But what did you aim to finish? Radio and TV, broadcasting and production. Fun fact, I applied for a program like that, and they rejected me. So you're there, you go, and you're booking bands on the side. Yeah. Okay. I got in it through a student group. Any particular band, any genre, or just rock or alternative mostly. Right. So no Zydeco. No. That's a shame. Okay, keep going. Yeah, it was mostly just local and regional acts. It wasn't anybody big and famous.
Mm-hmm.
So we had booked this band to play the show. They played the show, stayed the night before going on their tour. And in the morning, I made them I made them breakfast, like a pancake breakfast.
And now, are you known for your pancakes at this point? Were you comfortable making pancakes?
They were just pancakes. It wasn't anything special. But they then had to send they were going to play like another show, and they were going to send me flyers to put up, around campus or whatever. And as they sent me the flyers, I gave them my address, but I forgot to tell them my last name. It just didn't occur to me to say it. So they got sent to Val Pancakes.
Oh.
Because that's what they remembered about me, I guess.
That's the only thing they remembered about you? Didn't you talk with these people? You spent time with them?
Yeah.
Oh. So in many ways, were you a little insulted?
No, I thought it was funny.
Weren't you like, hey, guys, I do other things?
No, I'm just surprised anybody remembers me at all, to be real honest about it.
If someone spent the night at my house and in the morning I made them coffee and all they could say about me was RJ Coffee, I would be a little insulted,
I took it more like they remembered me for my hospitality and generosity.
Right. And in hindsight, so how long have you had this name now? Years?
Yeah, at least 15 years.
Okay. So good thing you didn't make a fancy breakfast. You could have been like Val Florentine. You could have been Val Quiche Lorraine.
Yeah, I'm not that fancy of a gal.
And now so wait, but you made the pancakes because they were there, they were easy, and you felt comfortable that you make a good pancake.
Yeah.
And now are you like, well, shit, this is now my thing? At what point does this become like a thing? At what point did you tell another person not connected with the story that your name is Val Pancakes?
So at the time, I thought it was hilarious. And I was booking shows, and I was like, this is kind of fun. At the time, to date how incredibly old I am, I was using MySpace to do a lot of this. So it was like my MySpace name for a while. And it's just carried with me through everything. Yes.
And now you introduce yourself as Val Pancakes? If we met at a party and I said, what's your name? Would you say Val or would you say Val Pancakes?
It depends on the context in which I know you or whatever.
You don't know me.
Random strangers, just Val or Valerie.
Right.
But if it's people in wrestling, Val Pancakes.
Fantastic. This is great. Nail said you did commentary somewhere yesterday, but she doesn't know where.
Yes, I did commentary not yesterday, the day before, just for our local, nothing special.
Did you do it by yourself?
I had 4 different wrestlers sit with me. It was my first time doing commentary.
Oh. Now, isn't it incredibly difficult not to speak at the same time as the other person?
Yes.
Do you think that's would be a given that we could just speak on and off, but it's very difficult. It's a specific skill.
It really is.
You do have a voice, I must say, that commands some respect.
Oh, thank you.
If you're talking about wrestling, you're like, that's a hell of a hammerlock. I would, I'd say, well, her voice is telling me it is. And it adds credibility to it. Nails also said Val Tallulah Pancakes. Is that your real middle name or no?
No. That's what Nails calls me when she wants to. I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase it. Like, if she thinks I'm being ridiculous.
Right. Oh, Tallulah. Like that kind of thing. Now, do you still book bands? Do you stop booking bands?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. And go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See?
No, I know, but at least we can't see each other. This is to be expected technologically. Although, if you're watching, are you watching on YouTube now?
Yeah, I have. Okay, so I have you on YouTube, on my TV.
Yes.
Muted.
Right. Good.
I have you in space.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Yes.
And then I'm in YouTube on my phone so I can comment.
Oh, very nice. So you should be watching my mouth then.
Well, it's a little delayed, I think.
Right. Rowdy Katie is enjoying learning the Val Pancakes lore. This is the lore of your origin story. Yeah, of your character. So the band ended up being the B-52s, correct?
No.
Oh, who were they? What were their names?
They were a local band, local to like the Omaha area, and I was in South Dakota at the time. But the band's name was American Velvet.
Oh, and they did what? No, like that kind of business.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, and you book them, so do you go to the show?
Yeah, like I run when I was booking bands, I booked the bands and I ran the show.
So did this get you into wrestling?
Indirectly, yeah, kind of. So, I'd always liked wrestling my whole life, but I got into local wrestling because a guy I knew wrestled, and I knew him from booking bands.
Right. I feel like also sometimes they used the similar venues. You know what I mean? It's the similar underbelly.
Yeah.
Culturally.
It was a natural transition for me to go into liking independent wrestling
from
liking independent music.
Yes. Ace says, Val, what is your dream match to call on commentary?
Probably, I don't really have one, and realistically, there's no way I should be doing any sort of dream matches on commentary. I commentated one show. I do not know if it was any good at all.
This is the hottest. I'm talking, if you're just joining us, to the hottest new act in indie wrestling commentary, Val Tallulah Florentine Pancakes. Positively, E said Florentine would be a good stripper name. And then Kingdom just joined in and said, I've been a strip club DJ for 20 years, and I've never introduced a Florentine. But I will say, in a world of candies and laces, if I'm at a strip club and now coming up to the stage, Florentine, I would pick my head up, That's how you don't know what you got to stand out in that business. I always thought the hardest song to strip to would probably be Cat's Cradle by Harry Chapin. It's really hard to be sexy while thinking about your dad.
What about Candle in the Wind?
Even that, I feel like it's about a woman. I feel like there's a little more to play with there, Your legend never will. There's something there. Very challenging, don't get me wrong. Yolanda said you have a great voice. Nail says you have a show on Twitch, The Stack with Val Pancakes on the Bald Monkeys channel. She interviews indie wrestlers. That's weird. She's downplaying how cool she is that she did commentary because she's like that. But so am I, and I think it's a good strategy. Tell people that you're horrible, and they go, no, you're not that bad. You know what I mean? Set your own bar as low as possible so you can always meet the goal.
Exactly. That way, if I suck, they'll be like, yeah, she told me she would.
Yeah, see? And that's worst case scenario, you break even. And I think that's a very good place to be. Somebody's just yelling Effie for some reason. The whole thing is a mess. Shanika is loving hearing Val's stories. At no point did you want to wrestle. You decided I'm not interested in this.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm short and fat and uncoordinated. There's no way I should wrestle.
Listen, I know plenty of wrestlers who fit that bill. I would not worry about that at all. At no point were you remotely interested or managing or anything like that.
No, that's asking me to hurt myself and also be ridiculed. Just what I want.
Right.
I don't need any more of that in my life.
Right. You can be ridiculed without being physically harmed. Right.
Exactly.
I understand. Rob Clark said, here's a cake question. If cakes are baked cake batter and pancakes are fried cake batter, they are technically closer to donuts than cakes. So why aren't they called pan nuts? Something for you to think about. I'm not even going to answer it. Let's just think about it, Let's just say, somebody suggested a bad strip song would be Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Ace said, would Val do commentary for PWG? Like they would ask you and you would somehow say no.
I wouldn't want to embarrass myself like that. Are you kidding me?
Oh, wait. SM said, we want the Val Pancakes pins. We saw her on Twitter. Do you have pins? You have pancake pins?
I do have pins.
Do you want to plug your pins?
Stickers.
Do a pin plug. Do a pin. Yes.
I have pins and stickers. Right now I only have 10 pins, but I am ordering more. They are on their way. If you want one, I haven't decided how much I would sell them for yet, but message me, and when I get them and make that decision, I'll let you know.
So you've already really got her in terms of this negotiation. That should sell you on wanting these pins, that you could probably get them for cost if you're a hard bargainer. I encourage you to message her and take advantage of her poor negotiation skills. Kingdom says, I've only played Cat's Cradle once in 20 years at a strip club. I was trying to make the stragglers leave at the end of the night, and they probably went, oh shit, I've got to call my son, and then ran out. Heather said, hard to be sexy while thinking about your dad. Suggests that it's still possible to do so. I think it is. I think it is, in the sense that sometimes people are looking for someone with strong family values. And if you show that you're thinking about your dad, you know those people? Have you ever run into these people who like dated a replica of their dad? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's weird. I have a friend from high school, and the guy she found is like this spitting image down to the lisp. And I'm like, what? How did you find someone with the same lisp? You know? It's so weird. And it's like, here I am thinking maybe I could find someone who's like Laura Dern-ish. You know? No luck. Not even close. Including Laura Dern, who David tried to set me up with to much failure. And then this one finds like a clone of her father. God bless her. Sass Transit joined, is now a member. Oh, thank you, Sass.
Welcome.
Panteo's grandma said Florentine as a stripper name, and I'd expect a historical Italian theme, maybe with gold florin pasties. That's a little more burlesque. I think you can, if you're a burlesque dancer, you can get away with the name Florentine. You know?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of feeling here. People will, Nails said, people will buy them. Val is worse at accepting our love than RJ. Here's a fun question, Val. Why is it uncomfortable for you to accept people's love?
I mean, I talk about that with my therapist every other week.
Yes. May I ask you, therapist, like over the phone?
In person.
In person?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What's the couch like? Is it a couch?
It's more of a love seat. It's brown leather. There's 2 throw pillows on it, but it's nice and big. And like, I'm a big gal, so like I get real comfy and I kind of like smoosh around the whole time. And I usually hold a throw pillow and cry.
Right, but you don't lie down.
No,
because I feel like if I was lying down at the therapist, or I'm somehow stretched out, then I'm making it, and this tells you where my head is at, I'm making it too much about me.
I mean, that's the point.
It's the point. This is my, I have an hour I have a spotlight for an hour on my problems, but then somehow I'm like, I don't want to make a whole thing out of it, though.
Says you who has an hour weekly YouTube show.
Well, I think this is what you know how difficult my issue is when I have a therapist is like explaining what I do. That's like the first 6 months, and you're like, listen, it's this thing. Like, can I just send you this link and you can watch it? Because like I don't want to have to explain. Spot Center said, I told Mark Madden on radio once that I heard knocking on heaven's door at a strip club. But it was a total lie. I've never been. Oh, okay. Well, you sure as hell got him. Yolanda said, I wish more strippers would dance to Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And there's a groove there, there's a, Neil said, I feel like RJ would lie and tell his therapist he's fine. Absolutely. It's hard not. It takes a while. You know what I mean? They have to break your walls down.
Oh, see, I'm like, if I'm paying you, you're going to get all this pain now.
But do you feel the pain? Do you feel it's accurate immediately from the first session? Do you start deep? If your psyche, if your emotional pool is of a 6-foot depth, where do you say you begin? First session, how deep are you in this water?
Probably 3.
Right.
I like to go a good half.
Right. And say, listen, I feel like I float on top. I dip my toe in, and I'm like, well, this is what the pool looks like. You can see how deep it is. But it's going to take a while. Aaron said, if my therapist would just follow me on social media, I think I would save a lot of time. That I absolutely agree with. Shaunica said, my friend and I once discussed some of the worst potential stripping songs and came up with The Wreck of the Edmonds Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot, and it stuck with me for years. But however, I've often used the pickup line, hey, I'd like to wreck your boat. It's really, really, people enjoy it. Rachel said, I used to go to a strip club for cheap drinks with my ex, and one person did a Dance to Rape Me by Nirvana. Jesus. All right. Okay. Making strong choices. Kingdom said, someday I'll do an episode of my podcast and just talk about the weirdest songs I've ever played at work. I agree. If you had to pick one stripper song for you, you're like, this is the one I can do. What is your song?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm never really came into my mind to be a stripper.
No.
Not particularly attractive, so I really wouldn't do that.
You're setting the bar low again, Val, and we've talked about this in our previous sessions.
The first thing that popped into my mind, terrible, cheesy, not at all like nuanced or anything, but like Talk Dirty to Me by Poison.
Yes. Good. I feel like that also has a clear, it's a tight song, clear beginning, strong beginning, and a very much time, place, and mood, Yeah,
I feel like if you're at a strip club, you probably like hair bands.
Right. I think that's also an accurate assumption.
You have to play to your audience a little.
See, that's you're coming at this from, a band booker's perspective. And it's working for you. And also, and maybe if you do the song and then the DJ comes out and say, also, she will make pancakes for you. And people go, that sounds like a hell of a deal.
Flip these flapjacks.
Well, now that's a little uncouth, Val. Now you've just really upset everyone. Okay. All right. I will let you go. Thank you for tolerating me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Is there anything else you want to say? We've never met before, by the way, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just checking, because sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, in Chicago. And I was like, I don't fucking know. Well, good. I'm happy that I don't recall meeting you before, because I would feel bad if... I mean, I will. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
What if I would have said yes and just made you make up a story about meeting me, only to tell you that I never met you?
It's entirely possible. And I would have said, great ruse. I would have said, what a ruse. Really good job. Oh, Nail said she could imagine me stripping to Clang, Clang, Clang with the trolley. And I could. Something that's like, something with like high leg kicks, I think I could do. Okay. Anything else you want to say to anyone here or anything?
No, it was really fun talking with you. And I hope that everybody wasn't too bored by me.
Mm-hmm. And I suggest, hey, you really have your foot on the bar and you're preventing anyone from raising it. Two people who are not very good and wanted at anything they do had a discussion. Not even going to attribute a value to the discussion. Just going to say we had a discussion. Okay, Val, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good afternoon also.
Yes, you as well.
Goodbye. Well, that was Val Tallulah Florentine Pancakes. She was so delightful. That was so sweet and deprecating. It was so sweet of her to come on and we just deprecated ourselves. SM said, can we pay $5 for an RJ strip dance? You can, but I won't do it. You can send whatever money you want. It's not a binding contract. Neil said, I met Val. She busted my head open with her shoe. I distinctly remember the guy, and he will probably never go to a wrestling show again. Nail said, we love you, Val. Yolanda said, Val, you were awesome. She probably just, totally left now and is burying her head. Positively E said, flapjacks. Pogirl said, SM, only if it's the itsy bitsy spider. It's an odd thing to. Leo said, Blue Meanie's WWE theme is like stripper music from a TV crime drama when they can't afford a real song. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Yes. Like it's or in a sitcom when they go to a strip club, MJ Fury said, RJ, how long you wrestle? For about 3 years, 8 years ago. Val said, I'm still here. Good for you, Val. Showing your face and saying, that is who I am, and I'm standing behind it. And if you want pins or if you want pancakes, that's the gal for you. Kingdom said, I've absolutely played Blue Meanie's ECW theme at my club. I feel like most of the ECW music was stripper songs. Man in the Box, good connotation there. Enter Sandman, maybe not. Neil said, RJ, you sound a little country there. I don't know what sentence. This MJ Fury guy is really going for the record here. God bless him. God bless everyone in here. And we've learned so much today, and I'm happy that it really wasn't on theme. We could have done presidential trivia. We could have done something like that. Throw out your favorites. What about Taft? Huh? That guy was a riot. Leo said Dan Severn's theme would have been a good stripper theme. Bow, 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 bow. It's a little aggressive. A little bit. I once went to a cosplaying burlesque show as part of some festival, and somebody did Bob Ross, and it was a song with all Bob Ross quotes that she lip sank along with, and it was fantastic. And I also feel like maybe there was a Big Bird one too. It was a hoot. Val said, also, thank you, Nails, for being amazing and plugging all my stuff and being the most supportive human I've ever met in person. Love you. I'm the most supportive human that she has not met in person. And then she put a blue heart and then a stack of pancakes in case you forgot what we just talked about nary a minute ago. Positively E said, Enter Sandman is my kind of club. Shanika said, I feel like now they need to make Clang Back Trolley Trap Remix. Looks at computer. Shanika, you can do it. It's not that hard to do these remixes of shit. Do it. Just mess around on GarageBand or whatever it was. I believe in you. The song is already there. Find a generic beat, public domain beat. SM said, RJ, I thought you personally knew that Italian dude on Twitter. I was so confused. I do not know the Italian man who's replying to every one of my tweets in Italian, most of the time telling me what he had for lunch. I enjoy it. I think it's wholesome. At some point, I'll tire of it. Absolutely. If it keeps up at this rate, I give him a week before he's been muted. Kingdom said, yes, I've played many of the original ECW themes for dancers, stage shows. Enter Sandman, Walk, Man in the Box, Thunderkiss 65. So many of them. And that's really their legacy on this business. Sass Transit said, presidential stripper songs? That would be a good trap mix. Spot Center said, ever get mist spit in your face? What was that like? It's like getting mist spit in your face. It's exactly what it feels like. It burns, and you have to say, oh, my eyes. And you can't hold your eyes because you want everyone to see the mist. So you have to go, like you're Charlton Heston or something. Leo said, I once saw a female stripper dressed as Trump stripping to American Idiot by Green Day. That's subtle. Maureen said, how about Sami Zayn's music? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't seduce. Positively E said, yeah, do it in the garage band. SM said, the one who posts what he eats. Yes, I'm talking about. Neil said, I love this Italian dude. I mean, enjoy him. He seems like a nice guy. Jeffrey said, you know when Bully said that thing about Eddie when they both messaged you about it, confiding in you, did you feel really confided in it? Or did you take a side? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. MJ said, you should have a Twitch to stream on Sundays and any other day in the week. MJ, I'm going to probably ask you to keep your advice to yourself. It'll skyrocket your career. Leo said, stripping to Kevin Owens music? It could work. It could work. Maybe not for me, but it could work. Anyway, that has been the entire show. And I don't know why anyone has participated in it, but I thank you for doing it. I thank you to Kingdom for sharing his vast strip club DJ experiences, and certainly to Val for just coming on to prevent anyone from getting too excited about her. And that is a successful promotional tactic where I come from. Let's take a final look at these huckleberries here. I don't remember what color they are now. I mean, they're coral to me in my eyes, but now that I see it is kind of a tangerine, maybe even a clementine, if I am so bold as to say. But I will also say, enjoy John Stamos and the Beach Boys. Godspeed.